today you're going to die. How did that make you feel? If I told you today would be your last, not how, not when, just that it was certain, what expression would you wear? Would you have a look of dread? Certainly you wouldn't carry a smile. A smile doesn't sound right. It feels unnatural, almost inhuman. What kind of reality could compel someone to respond to a tragedy with a grin? And yet there's Shinra Kusakabe, the boy who smiles. You couldn't ask him what he loves, though his grin is endless. When his smile speaks, it lies, as if it's trying to deceive. A guise often regarded as a sign of warmth somehow burns those who see it. But he wears that scar and keeps walking, and all you'll ever see are the devil's footprints.
You are aware of what's going on in the world, the chaos that consumes it.
In Tokyo, a boy nicknamed Devil dares to dream the impossible, to become a hero. Of course, it's hard to be taken seriously as a hero when people think you're auditioning to be the Joker. His smile, a nervous tic, always seems to show up at the wrong time. Earning him a reputation is something far more sinister. Though this trait makes his journey to becoming a hero even harder, it's also the most integral part of his journey and identity. And perhaps what makes Shinra remarkable isn't just his dream of being a hero. It's the courage to keep walking forward, bearing the weight of that same dreadful grin. At the ripe age of 5 years old, little Shinra lost his mother and younger brother to a fire that engulfed everything. Shinra's recollection of this past affliction is always met with eerie images and unsettling voices. From the moment he gazed at the fire that burned down his home to the second he stood amongst the ashes, all he could muster was a sickening grin. And when I say sickening, I mean the kind of smile that makes you think, is this kid okay? Where are your parents? I guess they're no longer. He was met with a fire that burned, leaving nothing in sight. The accusations came swiftly. Fingers pointed at him, the child with the unnerving smile, branding him a devil. Even his own family turned away, leaving him isolated and alone. In such a tragic moment, most would put on a look of despair and grief, yet all Shinra did was smile. What did his brain make of that expression at such a young age? It turned a sign of warmth into a portrayal of wickedness. What's interesting is that these depictions of fear responses aren't too far from reality. Shinra's smile mirrors a real psychological response called the incongruous affect, where the brain masks fear with unexpected reactions like smiling or laughter. For Shinra, his grin wasn't born of joy or malice, but rather an instinctual response to a moment of unbearable terror and confusion, one that his young mind couldn't fully process. Those who exhibit inappropriate smiles or laughter in traumatic moments are often judged harshly, as others misinterpret their responses as apathy or even complicity. In Shinra's case, his brain's defense mechanism became the very thing that deepened his trauma, turning a single moment of instinctive reaction into a lasting stigma.
Our training has been canceled. The First has a lot of reports to write, and a need to re-examine its past. Rekka was killed. Arthur ended up getting lost while chasing him. We had to file a missing persons report.
If all you wanted from a young age was to save others and be a beacon of hope, wouldn't you feel it's necessary to inspire that hope with a smile? You know, like All Might or something?
Look, he's got more!
I feel like such an obsession with an idea can cause your mind to internalize it so deeply that it eventually backfires. Those same individuals you swore to protect now regard you as a thing to be protected from. For Shinra, every grin was met with fear, every act of kindness dismissed as a manipulation. The world didn't just misunderstand him, it feared him. If I'm busting my back, saving people, and you looking at me like I'm crazy, I might just become a villain. I'm not gonna lie. The world seemed to only see one side of the fire that consumed Shinra's life, the side that destroys and leaves nothing behind. Yet I'd like to think there's another side, a side that's warm, protective, and maybe even life-saving. Shinra embodies these two sides. Struggling to reconcile his... Holy, yeah, that's a hard sentence right there. Damn. Why did I want to use all these big words? Like, who do I think I am? Aristotle? Like, I'm really not struggling to reconcile the destructive force that engulfed his life with the power he now channels through the flames at his feet. Does anyone wonder if Shinra's feet are like numb at this point? Like, I know he has no shoes. All right, let's get that out the window. He's got no J's, no retros. All right, I know podiatrists hate to see him coming. They probably funded the R&D for some flame resistant Crocs or something, because I'm not about to spend 10 plus years in medical school be looking at people's feet and then Shinra come through the office talking about I got feet pain. Brother, if you stop burning your shoes, maybe we wouldn't have to see you on a weekly basis. He doesn't just overcome the stigma of being a devil, he wants to redefine what it means. His journey is not just about proving the world wrong, but also about showing himself he can be a beacon of hope despite the darkness around him.
Repulsive. What a twisted smile.
The black smoke is the soul's release. Ashes thou wert an art. May thy soul return.
I know you're in pain! Just let go!
Wow. The third generation's as strong as they say.
To the great flame of fire.
Latom.
Shinra's journey in Company 8 begins with a choice, to face the flames of his past head-on or to let fear consume him. Early on, this choice takes form in the first major fight, against an Infernal. These Infernals aren't just faceless monsters, they were once people, with lives, families, and dreams. For Shinra, this revelation transformed his role as a fire soldier into something much greater, not just extinguishing flames, but protecting the humanity still left behind. Standing before the Infernal, Shinra is faced with more than just a fight. He's confronted by fear. Fear of failure. Fear of being seen as a devil, fear of the responsibility that comes with protecting others. But as philosophers have noted, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the ability to act despite it. For Shinra, this moment becomes a defining one. His smile isn't just a reflex born of anxiety, it's a promise to himself and to the family of the victim that he will be the hero he's always dreamed of becoming. Philosophers have long defined courage as a balance, avoiding recklessness and cowardice. True courage, they argue, is fearing the right things for the right reasons at the right time. But Shinra's story reveals another layer to courage, the courage to face oneself. It's not just about confronting danger. It's about looking your fears, your pain, and your doubts in the eye and refusing to turn away. This philosophy comes to life in Shinra's final battle with his brother, Sho.
Wasn't just fast. It was like he stopped time. How can a pyrokinetic do that?
Shinra isn't just fighting to win, he's fighting to save. Bridging the gap between himself and Sho isn't just a physical challenge, but an emotional one. Using his Adala Burst, Shinra pushes past his physical and emotional limits. At this point, he smiles, not to mask his fear, but to assure Sho of his love and determination to bring him back from the darkness. This smile is no longer a mask, it's a declaration of courage born from selflessness. Shinra's fight with Sho encapsulates his growth. His courage is rooted not in anger or vengeance, but in love. His smile becomes a beacon, a way to tell Sho that he will never give up on him, no matter how great the divide between them is. Shinra's smile, once misunderstood as the mark of a devil, becomes a symbol of his determination to leave behind something greater than fear, a legacy of light. His devil's footprints are no longer a reminder of destruction, but a path of courage. I mean, I'd be pretty happy if I didn't have to buy shoes again either. Actually, that's a lie. If I stepped on a Lego or something, I'd be livid. I'd be so pressed. Perhaps the truth of courage is that it's all about truth itself. It's about looking at the reality of the world, its pain, its risks, and its ugliness, and choosing not to turn away. For Shinra, this means confronting the fire that took everything from him and using it to protect others. It's a reminder that courage isn't about being fearless. It's about finding strength in the face of fear. And that is what makes him truly remarkable.